We're both a little lower on him, I think. He was the first safety I watched, and I really wanted to like him because I think he is very good in intermediate area coverage. If you just put 20 pounds on him, I think he would make a fantastic linebacker. I appreciate his willingness to tackle. I think he's pretty gap sound, but I just thought he was a borderline liability in deep zone with stiffer hips and unimpressive acceleration, and one really peculiar flaw as a tackler, which is he straight up refuses to go low. He's almost a pure
Yeah.
clinch tackler, and that's just not going to work against 225 ball carriers who are just going to stiff arm you right off of them. So I think that has room to be cleaned up. But what did you see in Keon Sabb?
Yeah, I saw a similar thing. I was trying to be nice to him because the games I watched were against Texas and Georgia. So, I mean, you're going up against the Flyers there. That's hell for a safety to go up against those guys. Sark and Kirby. Kirby's offenses, man, it's tough. But at some point, like this is the level of talent at the very worst you're going to face in the NFL. So you need to be able to cover these guys, and Sapp just couldn't in deep zones. Like you said, he's a stud in intermediate zones. I mean, he sees it. He knows what he's looking at. He was fine as a playmaker. I mean, didn't really see many ball skills that really jumped off the screen. I don't think he's a liability as an athlete, but he's just missing that next step. He's a step slow to close on the break. He is a step slow to flip the hips, and he is not a near good enough processor to make up for that. So I don't think that he is a starting safety, but I really think his role is just going to come in and just be a really, really good third safety, a guy who you can really move around, do whatever you want. He's going to bring a lot of fire to the locker room, and he's just a good backup, rotational safety, replacement level starter kind of thing. He's just, yeah, if he improves the processor, maybe he can be a starter. But it's still, like you were talking about with deep zones, it's just there's the issue of when you have this lack of athleticism, and I really saw it with Sabb a lot, you can't play too far deep because guess what? You don't have the speed to close in. If they're gonna if a guy's running down the seam, if he cuts out, you don't have the acceleration or the burst to close that gap before the quarterback can hit you for a big gain. But you can't play too tight either because they can just run past you, and you don't have the hips to flip and stick with them. So what do? You kind of play, you just always got to play too deep and let him scar you underneath. That's what Sabb chose to do, and it's the better of two evils. He didn't get beat over the top much. When he did, it was usually because of a double move. He bites a little bit too often, and then he just gets shelled. So credit to him. He chose the right decision. I'm just going to stay back. I'm going to let you beat me for 15 to 18 yards. That's better than giving up a touchdown because I know the rest of this defense is full of elite athletes, and somebody's going to make a play before we get to the end zone. So he trusts his team. I think Sabb has a role in the NFL. I just don't think it's one that's going to ever really bring him a whole lot of money, but he can make some.
He has another year of eligibility, by the way. So
Really.
if Bray Hubbard stays in school, they could have just a fantastic safety duo if both these guys come back for their senior
Yeah.
years.